Hi everyone and welcome back to King Great Airguns. Today I'm walking you through my full 10-step process for tuning your rifle. This will enable you to shoot flatter, tighter and be running your rifle as efficient as possible. Whether you're hunting, plinking or long-range shooting, following this process will ensure your rifle, scope and ammunition are perfectly dialed in so every shot is taken with confidence. Let's get straight into it. The first step before you even touch your rifle, weigh and group your pellets or slugs. It's a simple step, but it all starts here. Consistency is the key. So make it easier for yourself and start by removing as many variables as possible. Weigh them, group them by mass and toss any of the outliers. Step number 2, you need to complete a basic 30-meter zero. If you've done this already, you can skip this step. This first zero is so you can get on paper, hitting your point of aim, so you know you're not wildly out. If you're already there, great. Step number 3. The next step is setting up for your baseline testing. Dial your valve adjustment knob 1.5 turns past line 4. Now to give yourself a good middle of the road setup, adjust your macro wheel to 8 and your micro wheel to around 3. Reg number 1 wants to be at least 40 to 50 bar above your Reg 2 pressure setting. Step number 4, finding your maximum FPS value for your current Reg 2 setting. So increase your macro wheel to 10. You will notice the micro setting moving automatically. Don't worry about this. Now shoot a few rounds through the chronograph and record your FPS value. Keep increasing the macro wheel incrementally by 1 and take a couple more shots. Now when you either see the FPS stay around the same value regardless of increasing the macro wheel, or you reach macro wheel setting 16, you've now reached the maximum FPS for the current Reg 2 pressure setting. Here's a top tip. Always adjust the macro wheel before cocking your rifle. Do not cock your rifle and then adjust your macro wheel. The aim here is to adjust regulator number 2 until your FPS is just below the speed of sound. This is 1125 feet per second or 343 meters per second. Ideally, you want to be on a macro setting of about 10 to 12 when hitting the speed of sound. So let's set your macro wheel to 12 and then make the adjustments on Reg 2 so that your chrono is reading approximately 1100 feet per second. Important, never dial Reg 2 down unless you've released the air by removing the bottle and draining the plen. Here's the Reg 2 rhyme. Tune it right. If you're fine tuning, Reg number 2, here's a smart tip just for you. Turning it up, you're good to go. Just twist it gently, nice and slow. But if you're turning the pressure down, don't just twist, you'll risk a frown. Drain the bottle and plenum first, or face a seal that's fit to burst. Whichever airgun you choose to run, this rule applies to everyone. So if you're unsure, don't mess around, just bleed the system and drain it down. The procedure is also detailed within the FX Impact M3 manual on pages 18 and 19, as can be seen here. And here's a close-up image of the Reg 2 adjustment screw that sits behind the trigger. Okay, we're into step number 5. We're halfway there. Prep your targets and refill your rifle bottle. Either refill your rifle, or better yet, and you have the option, run it off a tank. Prepare a backing board with 16 targets on that are evenly spaced. And then range this out to between 60 and 100 meters away. You want that extra distance to be able to see the groupings open up, which is due to the flight characteristics of the pellet or slug, along with the harmonics of the barrel being shot at the various speeds. Step number 6, we're now going to assess the barrel harmonics and find your projectile's flight characteristics and find a sweet spot for both. So set your macro wheel to 1 and shoot 5 shots at target number 1. Record the target number, the macro wheel setting and the FPS value from your chronograph. Now increment the macro wheel to 2 and repeat on target 2, recording the results obviously. Repeat this process right through to macro setting 16 on target 16. Time to review your shot groups. So step number 7, go to your target and study the groups. One of them will clearly outperform the rest. That's your optimal speed. Now if macro setting 8 gave you the best group, refer to your notes and that will be your target FPS value. Okay, step number 8, the efficiency tuning. This is done with the valve adjustment knob. So from your previous notes, in relation to the optimum target speed, set your macro wheel to 1 or 2 settings above your sweet spot. In the example above, it was macro setting 8. So you want to set your macro wheel to 9 or 10. Then slowly dial down your valve adjustment knob, shooting and recording the FPS value after each adjustment. Repeat this until your shots match your target FPS. What this is doing is making your rifle more efficient by using less air, by governing how long and how far the exhaust valve stays open, optimizing accuracy and the air usage. Step number 9, now go back to your regular zero distance and zero your rifle. Once you've completed that, if you have a ballistic app for your scope, enter all the captured data you have so far. So enter your rifle, your scope height, the pellet or slug details, i.e. the length, the caliber and the weight. Add the FPS value that you've just dialed into. Now you want to go online and look up the BC value for your exact projectile and enter this into the app. The BC is your ballistic coefficient. We shall now test this and then upload to your scope or app. So final step, step number 10, we're there. Time to stretch it out. This is your BC tuning. So if you range and place a target at 200 meters, set your holdover or dial in the firing solution for that distance. You want to fire a 5-shot group and compare your impact to your aiming point. If your pellets or slugs that are hitting above your aiming point, raise the BC value. If your pellets or slugs are hitting below your aiming point, lower your BC value. So you're effectively following the shot. So if it hits high, raise the BC value. If it hits low, lower your BC value. Here's another rhyme when you're doing this process. Don't twist your turrets, leave them be, except for windage if it's breezy. What you're saying there is don't adjust any of your turrets up or down. You're purely adjusting your BC value, but you can adjust your windage turrets just to get a better shot placement and see where it's hitting. And there you have it, a full tune from start to finish. If this helps you tighten your groups or make your rifle shoot more efficiently, hit that like button and subscribe along with the notification bell so you can be updated when we upload more airgun wisdom. In the meantime, why not come over and join our Facebook community at King Great Airguns. Shoot smart, stay safe. I'll see you next time on King Great Airguns. Thanks for watching.